Well, good morning, everyone. I want to thank everybody for coming today. It's a beautiful, brisk day outside. I'm Tom Basillo. I'm a 1971 graduate of this wonderful university. I'm chairman of the Center for Entrepreneurial Studies Board of Advisors, and I'm a partner at the great firm of Witham, Smith & Brown. I was reading the paper this morning and saw that yesterday the Dow closed down at its lowest point since 1997, and NASDAQ was down another 3%, with the only positive note that it wasn't quite as bad as its low point in November of 2008. That was the good news. So that's really something. I don't know about all of you, but personally I'm very tired of bad news. I'm sick of negativism and tired of hopelessness. So today we're celebrating. Today we will bring hope, positive reinforcement, and the return of the can-do attitude that made this country great. In 2003, Seton Hall University was blessed with an endowment fund from Frank Scott, a New Jersey entrepreneur, 1950 alum, and his wife Marilyn to form the Center for Entrepreneurial Studies. We started with nothing but a blank piece of paper and a dream to prepare students for a world in which entrepreneurial competence is crucial. Today we are opening the Center for Entrepreneurial Studies, and what we have accomplished in just 5 years is amazing and a source of great pride. We have entrepreneurial certificates for undergraduate students and graduate students through the Department of Management, and the classes that we have are not only filled, but rated highly by the students. We have gained national recognition for the program with Women 3.0 magazine naming Seton Hall University among its 2008 top 50 programs for entrepreneurship. And the Princeton Review Entrepreneur magazine included Seton Hall University in its 2007 and 2008 national listing of collegiate entrepreneurial programs. Over the past 2 years, we've awarded 4 entrepreneurship scholarships to graduate and undergraduate students and awarded 4 Give Something Back Foundation scholarships over the past 2 years. How did we get here? Well, we did it the old-fashioned way. We worked hard. With dedication to purpose and strong leadership. The leadership was provided by our founding director, Susan Sherrick, with the outstanding support of Dean Karen Boroff and the entire academic community of Seton Hall. We also have a world-class board of advisors, which we formed in 2006 to help move the Entrepreneurial Center's mission forward. In addition to the support of the board, the center has been fortunate enough to have the support of many of our benefactors and patrons. Over the past 3 years, our benefactors and patrons have contributed over $150,000 to the Center for Entrepreneurial Studies. It is through the generosity of our benefactors and patrons that we've been able to create a venture fund, open this fine center, and provide scholarships to needy students. Thank you all for making our dream a reality. Now I'd like to introduce Dean Karen Boroff to provide a special greeting and introduce our honored guests. Thank you.
Good morning. How great is this day? As you were coming in, you had rosy cheeks, the wind was blowing, but there was a stride in your step that you could not miss. It speaks to the excitement. And you're right, while the doom and gloom is something we're going to shun aside because we were so excited and blessed to have this moment. Your presence here affirms our goal to give our students the very best educational experience they can have. As Tom Basillo notes, entrepreneurship is so critical. And just yesterday and today, I didn't look at those gloomy reports from NASDAQ and the Dow Jones. I was looking at something from the Wall Street Journal just yesterday. So you want to be an entrepreneur. Or today, entrepreneurs can lead us out of the crisis. This is no accident. Our board of advisors, our benefactors have told us how important entrepreneurship is to be a catalyst for our economy, and we're able to underscore that in a big way today. It's a pleasure and an honor to introduce to you His Honor, Cory Booker. He's an entrepreneur for his city, for our city. His goals include economic abundance. Isn't that wonderful? Economic abundance. Not scarcity, not tough times, economic abundance. In addition, his goals include creating an environment that is nurturing and empowering. In a small way, the small room that we build is nurturing and empowering. The small room that was built by our colleagues upstairs is nurturing and empowering. Maria Booker, we welcome you to the Stillman School.
I'm incredibly excited to be here. We live in a fast-changing age, but the real values, the core ideals of our country are as real as they've ever been, and we are desperately in need of those ideals. The whole conception of our nation, a nation formed in liberty and ideals of freedom and equality, have constantly been renewed and expanded and enriched and emboldened with every generation, making our democracy more democratic, making our democracy more real and substantive for every single person. But we have work to do. And one of the best ways to do that work is to begin for all of us to come together to make sure we can continue the abundance as the word was. We have a founding document that's called the Declaration of Independence, but I'm a big believer that what our history screams towards and what our destiny must be is a declaration of interdependence, recognizing that we all need each other. We must work together. We must find ways to realize the value and the worth of every American. Now, unlike the past, nations of the future will no longer be strong because they have great bauxite or iron ore supplies. And even, in fact, our economy here in America has changed from a manufacturing-based to really a knowledge-based economy. And if that is the case, we must recognize that unlike the old days, that we have to understand that our natural resources are essential to our success and that they're focused and located in only certain areas. Now we must realize that, again, our natural resources are the key to our success, but the natural resources that we must focus on are not centralized in certain areas of our nation. They're equally distributed all around our country, and that's the genius of our people. That we must find ways to cultivate and exalt that genius and that potential of children, of young people, every part of our country. In Newark, New Jersey, we recognize that we have genius on each and every one of our streets. And if we can find ways to make bolder access to resources and opportunity, that genius is going to thrive and make even more opportunity available. Now, I am a big believer that this nation is strong because of its private sector, because of industry, because of business, because of developers, because of people who saw things that are not there. If we want to continue that kind of innovation and entrepreneurship, we must equip the genius of our country with the basic skills necessary to be able to engage and continue that kind of entrepreneurialism, the kind of growth of our economy. This, to me, is so critical. In Newark, we've started to do some very innovative things through the Brick City Development Corporation in partnership with many people that are in this room. Some of it was just trying to make capital more available to businesses to help them grow and expand. We've already made well over $1 million of loans available. In this time of restricting capital, Newark and the Brick City Development Corporation, in partnership with innovative banks, with the Small Business Association and others, are actually helping businesses move forward by getting capital into their hands, by recognizing the genius of our entrepreneurs. I am so excited about this institution now, which is joining with us in a remarkable way, focusing on young people, teaching them the skills necessary for entrepreneurialism, encouraging them to follow in the footsteps of their ancestors, who in so many ways were entrepreneurial, from family households that had very entrepreneurial ways of meeting the basic needs of their families, to even the history in the Black community and the larger community in America as a whole that has made a way out of no way through entrepreneurial endeavor. Isn't it amazing right now that we are now in a generation where the Nobel Peace Prize is not going to someone who liberates colonialism or in India or who battles for civil rights in America, but that the Nobel Peace Prize recently went to a person that was involved with micro-enterprise, with getting money and resources to often overlooked individuals within India through the Grameen Bank. This is where America is going, is understanding that creating wealth and abundance, fostering innovation, fostering entrepreneurialism is actually what's going to help us deal with the persistent problems of our nation. everything from cleaning our environment. I talked to one of the most amazing venture capital funds in Silicon Valley that is actually giving money, making investments in green tech companies that for cities like mine offer green jobs and innovation and create entirely new economies. That entrepreneurialism is helping people create new businesses out of the ether. Literally right now in America, here in New Jersey rather, after visiting with eBay out in California, there are hundreds of New Jerseyans that are making a living, a regular living off of a company that we couldn't even imagine just 15, 20 years ago. This is where America's going. And the key ingredient to this is the young people that are coming up right now. And that's why I am excited. That's why my step was light when I was walking into this door, because here is a true partner that will be on the cutting edge of dealing with America's challenges, but more importantly, expanding our vision, our moral imagination of what America can be. And it's going to be done by cultivating that genius, by cultivating that natural resource. This is a time to celebrate. In the darkest days of our country's history, we've always seen the lights shine the brightest. This truly is, as the clouds are forming, as the night is descending on America, this is the light and the hope, like the North Star that guided so many African Americans to freedom along the Underground Railroad. This school will be a passage towards greater freedom, greater opportunity, and greater justice in America. And for that, I am grateful to everyone. Thank you.
Wow, more stride in our step. Isn't it true? Thank you. James Cory is our next speaker. He's the District Director for the U.S. Small Business Administration in Newark. His work to assist small businesses have helped thousands of business owners and, in turn, thousands of consumers. He's also established small business centers around the state. We look forward to advancing the good work that you do here at our center. And on a personal note, we also thank you for the service to our country in your time in the military. Mr. Cory.
Good morning. I have to also echo the first two speakers. Enough of the gloom and doom. We're here to celebrate, and we're looking for positive things to go forward in our country. And it's a pleasure to be here at Seton Hall University today to assist in the grand opening of this center. A little bit of history. About 10 years ago, I had the pleasure of working with some people at Seton Hall University on a large conference that was related to employment and work. It was about 10 years ago. And one of your late professors, Professor William Toth of the Seton Hall Institute of Work, and I worked together on that. And another gentleman from the area that you may recognize, he was the former Assistant Secretary for the Department of Labor, Ray Bermucci. So Ray was involved in that effort as well. And the reason why I'm mentioning that is because I think the college has always been very interested in issues regarding employment, opportunities for people, and that activity of 10 years ago just reinforces what's happening today. And that's of sure great news. I'm also very pleased to see a center like this because I'm sure it's going to give great opportunity to the students and faculty as well as small business owners that could avail themselves of training and development opportunities here in this area. And in today's times, we really need those things to happen to create jobs and to create employment because our economy is, in fact, suffering. And it's also important that all sectors work together to assist businesses to accomplish that final result. In today's environment, colleges and universities across the country are becoming more involved in economic development. They provide a lot of valuable resources to educate and counsel people, not only students, but also today's business owners to keep them on track. State and local governments are also involved in this as well. Mayor Booker mentioned the Brick City Economic Development Corporation. Our agency has been working with Brick City. We're located in Newark. We have a vested interest in this. His office and my office are literally maybe about 6 blocks apart. And we have a strategic alliance memorandum that is currently down in Washington for the final approval. We've already signed it with the city of Newark, and we're anxious to see, an economic revitalization and the use of some of our programs to accomplish that. Today, Seton Hall University is going to be expanding their services, obviously. and their expertise combined with the expertise of their advisors is going to allow people to really recover from the economy and the ill effects of what we're suffering here today. And the bottom line is when people work together, whether it's a university, whether it's a federal agency, a city agency such as what Mayor Booker mentioned, everybody at the bottom line will benefit from it. As was mentioned, we have longstanding agreements with universities and colleges throughout the United States. Our Small Business Development Centers is a 30-year project that we've been involved in funding throughout the United States. And let me tell you, it's the best uses of federal resources that we probably ever applied. It's a great model for public and private partnership. And I can tell you over the years, and I've been at the SBA since 1976, so I've been there more than half the time that the agency's been in existence. But I can tell you this, it's an honor to see what happens to small businesses and students that are involved in small business get the right direction and go forward. I want to share a couple things with you with regard to the impact of small business on a nation's economy. For those of you that are not aware of it, they employ about a half of all private sector employees. They pay nearly 45% of the total U.S. private payroll. They've generated between 60 to 80% of the new jobs annually over the last 10 years, and I would suspect that given what's happening with large corporations today, that number probably is pushing up to maybe 85. They hire over 40% of high-tech workers, such as engineers and scientists. And this is an interesting one. They produce 13 times more patents per employee than the large corporations in America. So, as you can see, small business has a big impact on our health and well-being for the nation's economy. And likewise, I'm looking for Seton Hall to make a big impact on the economy here locally and also with the students that they serve, the businesses that they serve. And hopefully some of these students that you're educating here today will be the business owners of the future. So I want to congratulate Seton Hall on their wisdom for the vision that they have here with the initiative. And I want to thank both Dean Karen Boroff and Susan, who's the director of the center, and wish you the best of success. And I'm sure you're going to have a lot of rewarding accomplishments to tell us about in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you all. Wow. 3 years ago, we were here. There was nothing. Today, there's a center. There is such an excitement of being an entrepreneur, and I think we feel that way here, those of us who are running the center. In today's rapidly changing business climate, ideas are born, cultivated, and burst into the market with lightning speed. It's a climate where entrepreneurs can thrive with a good idea and access to the right tools. The Center for Entrepreneurial Studies is that tool at Seton Hall University. It's a dynamic facility where student entrepreneurs will have the resources they need to turn their dreams into a reality. This one-stop resource will provide individualized counseling and mentoring, a unique library of business plans and videos, and be home to the annual Venture Fund competition we will launch in the fall. Consider, today's college students are twice as likely to start businesses during their lifetime as older generations. And what's good for our students is good for New Jersey. Half of all technology startups are established in the same state as where their founders attended college. The center's motto, built by entrepreneurs for future entrepreneurs, is very apt. I'd like to thank Tom Basillo and our amazing board of advisors for making today a reality. They inspire our students, not just as successful entrepreneurs, but as dedicated servant leaders. Special thanks to Elvin Riley and his team of designers and builders, including Seton Hall University Facilities and TLTC. Thanks also to Lee Onimus, Pam Dungy, and Jen O'Sheal for their hard work on this and all our events. Thanks too to our entrepreneurship faculty, including Department Chair Jason Yin, Elizabeth McCrae, and Tony Sadler. Also, special thanks to the South Orange Rotary Club for working with Professor Paula Alexander and the Newark Public Schools to launch a micro-lending project. Thanks too to Brian Terry for his work on creating the Give Something Back Foundation scholarships. Above all, thanks to our students whose enthusiasm for entrepreneurship is the engine of our efforts. I would like to introduce Brian Jakovic and Rhea Roberts of the Entrepreneurship Club to say a few words. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Brian Jakovic. I'm a senior at Stillman School of Business. I'm president and founder of Fusion Management, and I'm also president of the Entrepreneurship Club here at Seton Hall. My friends ask me, how do I manage to operate my business with 7 full-time employees, 80 to 100 hours a week, manage an 18 credit course load, which I cram into 2 days, and still have time to be president of the Entrepreneurship Club, an officer in the volunteer fire department, friend, boyfriend, name it. And the answer is, when you love what you do, you put the time in, you put the effort in. And what I've learned is that to become successful in anything you do, you need a proper environment and a proper environment to learn in, and a firm educational foundation to work off of in order to achieve what you want to do. Seton Hall University has allowed that and has helped me become a successful entrepreneur, and has allowed me to work with other students to get the Entrepreneurship Club working again and to help it grow into what it's becoming. And it's through the hard efforts of you, the faculty, staff, and those here today that have touched my life and have touched these lives of other students and have therefore have residual effects on that to help develop entrepreneurs and successful business leaders for the future. And the Entrepreneurship Center will help that. It's going to be absolutely used to the fullest, and I know that so many of you, I see faces everywhere, that have worked tirelessly both with me. Thank you for putting up with me. Thank you for the A. And it's just going to be a blast having this room as a resource to help entrepreneurs, from now in this school right now and those who are going to come through these doors in the future. And on behalf of myself, students of the School of Business, entrepreneurs, and students that are going to come through the door in the future, thank you. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Raya Roberts, and I'm also a member of the Entrepreneurship Club at Stillman School of Business, and I'm a senior graduating in May. On behalf of the Entrepreneurship Club, we'd like to thank Dean Boroff and the Stillman School, Mayor Booker, and Tom Cory for the Entrepreneurship Center. The center will be integral to all of our activities and to help foster the entrepreneurial spirit across the disciplines at Seton Hall University, not only at the Stillman School. And on behalf of the Entrepreneurship Club, we'd like to present a small token of our thanks to the mayor and to Tom Cory.
Wow. 24/7 operation, I guess. Congratulations.
Thank you all very, very much. Thank you so much, Mayor Booker. Thank you, Jim, and thank you everyone for being here today.